Welcome back to the show and first to our last item before we go. And I'm sure you've heard about the fight to deal with climate change on all fronts, but have you heard about climate change solutions through football? Yes, it is called Green Football. It is an effort to make the football community more environmentally friendly. It is about coming together to ensure that our beloved sport entertain us, protect our environment, and promote community development. This week, football experts from Germany are in Ghana helping Ghanaian football clubs adopt green approaches towards football in the country. It is Green Football, and the objective: develop and implement environmental, social governance guidelines for football clubs, facilitate club adoption of sustainable practices and other, objectives that they are putting across. So this afternoon in the studio is the president of GALCA, Mr. Kujo Fienu. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
And of course, also Prince Osisi Adan, aka Y Square. Of course.
Welcome to your show.
Of course, and of course, we will be delving into this particular matter shortly. Of course, Stefan Wagner is co-founder for Sports 20, also from Germany. Stefan, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
So let's talk about Green Football. I mean, what is it about, Prince?
So Green Football is it's a collaboration between Suka Africa, Ghana League Clubs Association,
Okay.
and Sports 20 based in Germany, which is also part of a group of network that is under the G20. So we are just trying to let football clubs in Ghana adopt environment and social practices, said that football can be a tool to address environmental issues like galamsey.
Okay.
That there have been several policies and several attempts, but we are struggling to deal with. But we think the football community can be used. Now we are in June, it's raining. The floods we see, we want to also use football to address the issues of flood. And the big umbrella that everybody talks about, climate change. So we want to also use football to address climate change. But beyond that...
How are you using football to do that?
So the football will be a change agent, and we're working with companies. There's a whole model as part of what we intend to do to use it to address issues of galamsey.
Okay.
So it's a whole model, and if I open it, we will not close to it.
Okay.
Then the clubs are not now profitable. So we want to also help them so that they have something, what we call resource efficiency, to be able to cut down their operational costs. How do they do it? To reduce their energy consumptions, water consumptions, and all that. And Elton, as you sit here, if there's so many positives about football that if I ask ordinary supporter on the street, they will not be able to tell us.
Right.
Football employs a lot of people. On match day, look at the direct employment it creates. Look at the indirect employment it creates around the stadium, the people who sell. Even on TV coverage, look at the number of people that are in the whole channel. But if we ask Mr. Fiano, the football people, how much people do you employ? Nobody will be able to. So we want to be able to tell. So we want to be able to quantify that. Apart from that, if you look at even football, on a match, they look at the waste that is generated. So we also want to use to be able to resolve waste problems in our stadiums and be able to transfer it into our communities. But one key thing is that the model we are using, once we are done, it will be showcased at the G20 summit. And Ghana is the first, the League Clubs Association in Ghana is the first to use such a model in Africa.
Right.
And it's to also be showcased at COP29 that is upcoming. So that's the concept of
this model. Let me bring in Stefan before Mr. Kujo Fiano come in. Is this something already done in Germany?
No, it's not. Well, we have sustainability criteria in the German Football League already, and there's lots of dynamic in the market, but I think it's not ambitious enough. And this is the reason why we founded Sports 20, because, well, we have serious global threats, as we all know,
right.
Social threats, environmental threats, such as the climate crisis, biodiversity, and others. And we have the SDGs, which are a clear goal and a clear mandate, but we fail to get the job done because if you hand it over to a random organization, you literally don't know what to do now. What can I do to transform it? And it's not, we don't have the awareness for the SDGs. And this is what sports can do. We inspire millions and millions all around the globe. Nothing else can do similar things in the world. And so if we go into a role in this, through sports to really explain how to translate the SDGs in what you have to do in your organization, this is what we have done with a framework which shows the ambition and gives a pathway to reach the SDGs. And the outcome is two directions. One direction is the sport. What does the sport world has to do, and the other direction is the political world and economics. What solutions do we need on that side?
Right.
And this is why we are on G20 at the COP, at the climate conference, to address all that things, to be an example for the rest of the world, because we think, we believe sports should go into this role.
Mr. Kujofiano, so quite clearly, GACA is on board with this agenda. How does it help the clubs maximize the potential in this new environment that you are venturing into?
This is a project we are very excited about. Don't forget, we play football,
of course,
on green turf. So the acronym green football didn't come by accident. And we are saying that football, as Ghanaians, we say football is our passion. When it's Sunday, everybody's attention is on football. So we want to say that if you ask how many eyes follow football in this country, we'll be counting them in billions. So if we have a product like football, and that is the passion of the nation, I don't think there's any other engine that can drive any change if you want to bring change into society. We play football based on weather conditions. We cannot play football when it rains because we don't have those facilities. Now, there's this craze of astroturfs. Everybody is asking for astroturfs. Have we spared time to find out whether these astroturfs are suitable for our climate? These things, we try to fight galamsey. But we think that the football community also has our legion, where we can also join forces to help fight the climate. Now, we have to move away from the normal source of funding for clubs. You know as much as I do that we are playing a Premier League without sponsorship.
Of course.
And as the welfare body of the clubs, we need to think outside the box. Now, he said something about waste. After we play our games at the various stadia, we litter the place with plastic waste and what have you. The question is, how do we dispose of those things? We have to pay money to get people to collect them and dispose. And it is also eating into our coffers.
Apart from the long deductions. The sports authority will take from the gate proceeds.
The gate proceeds. The question is, we play in the climate. Have we spared time to find out whether the type of jerseys we wear, are they okay for the athlete to play at 3 o'clock when the sun is high? So these are the things we want to bring on board. And the move out from the conventional way of sourcing for funding, the companies are really under severe economic conditions. So I will not have the courage to come to Joy FM to say, Joy, can you sponsor our league? Because when you put the numbers together,
it doesn't add up. So for a club manager who is watching and is wowed by the new initiative that is coming up, the question will be asked is, so how do I benefit from this financially?
That is why we have the league. That league will not be played on the field of play. We're going to engage the clubs. As I'm saying, we have this National Tree Planting Day. I want to know how many trees Adriana is planting in Doma.
Right.
I want to know the number of trees Accra Suffolk is planting in Accra. At the end of the year, we'll evaluate all these things, and they'll come with marks. How do you dispose of your waste after matches? What are you doing to help the climate? And then you'll be given marks. At the end of the day, if Adriana scores 50, Accra Suffolk will come up with a table, and the prizes will come as to the performance of each and every club.
So you are winning on the field and off the field.
Of the field. Because now, when you watch what is happening all across the world, everybody's talking about climate change. He's talking about the G20 summit and stuff. And you and I will be surprised to see football clubs participating in the next G20 summit. That is where the money is. People are ready to work to improve the climate. So we want to take advantage of what is happening. Now, I have lived in Obuasi for over a decade. What Galamsey is doing to our water bodies. Are we sure that if you can get some page boys playing football from Obuasi, and we use them as ambassadors to go to the sites and tell them that there is life in football, you may get 1 or 2 good footballers who are doing Galamsey because they haven't been given the opportunity.
Right.
So these are some of the schemes we want to work with. That apart from the green turf, there are other avenues we can exploit to make money for our members.
All right, let me bring in Prince again. So when this is already formalized in a way, but when is it kicking off the ground?
So we formalize, we've done, put on the framework, the structures, but it will be launched in the upcoming month in June.
Okay.
Then it will run for a period of 2 years because we need to really guide the clubs through a whole process because this is a shift in paradigm.
Right.
And it cannot be overnight. So we want to help them, guide them over a 2-year period. But Elton, one question that you asked Mr. Fiano, because it's all hands on deck.
Right.
Now, when you walk down your staircase right now, what you want to do is you want to take maybe Coke, beer, malt. If you pick all these beverages, water is 99% of what you are drinking. The concentrate is 1%. Now, with the destruction of our water bodies, what will happen is that time will come, these food and beverages companies need to import water, making their cost of operation so expensive.
That is happening already.
Exactly. So what is happening is that we are moving from a certain direction, and corporate, we also expect corporate to also move in a certain direction and meet us, so that we all work together, and at the end of the day, we benefit. When you go to the Bank of Ghana, there are a lot of things they've launched when it comes to environment, social, and governance. We want to use football to drive such initiatives,
Right.
to make sure that it moves from BOG, move to the commercial banks, and move down to the customer who is sitting somewhere in Boko. That's the whole concept.
So again, we will have our normal Ghana Premier League, but alongside there is a green revolution that they might also adopt and sign on to.
That is correct. So that's what Mr. Fendo said. There will be a green league for the clubs, where at the end of the day, we'll score them. They will gain points like they are playing in their normal leagues, but this one is off pitch. Then, at the end of the day, a fund is created and resources are allocated to clubs that do well. In the first year, the allocation is going to be equal because we are starting. But in the second year, the expectation is that the more you do, better. Then the more you receive more than the other person if you score more points. So it's going to be a whole structure, and this is what we want to take to revolutionize Ghana football,
Right.
and move it to where the world is moving. So that when Mr. Fiano and co, the next time the government is going to COP, this project will also be showcased
As part of the activities.
so
that
the
we are
government
doing.
comes in there, we're also sitting in there, and that will be such a fulfillment for the government and the people of Ghana. And we are just happy that this is the first time it's been done in Africa, and we are the ones starting.
Yeah, so Stefan, Ghana, obviously the gateway. What kind of support are you also giving this?
Well, on the one hand side, we have now this ambitious Sports 20 framework, and we have the global network. We will be present at those platforms like
Right.
G20 and COP and others. And now we need those frontrunners, those role models like Alka, who are taking responsibility, who take a stand and try to change the mindsets within the league and through football in Ghana. And we do the same in Germany, in Japan, and with partners in Brazil, because it doesn't matter where you are at the moment. It's important where you're heading to. And we all take these examples, and if we are able to create this roadmap and this vision together and show how it works out, then it can be a blueprint for every single league worldwide. And this is the role.
It's possible Ghana may start, but it may be extended to every African country.
It can be, yeah. It has to be driven out individually, but it doesn't matter. You have this common goal, and we have the status quo, and then we are now deciding where to go.
So again, Prince, the official launch is next month. You do have a date already?
No, we're working with other stakeholders to fix the dates. And Mr. Fionu may speak to the dates for the launch.
Yes, just in a few seconds.
The third week of June.
The third week of June.
Sure, we will set. Okay. We cannot do these things without the government support.
Of course.
Because we are coming to operate within the confines of. So as soon as we get the green light from the big house, we will do that.
We'll also be here to support it.
Why not? The media being the mirror of society, we will count on your support to bring this innovation to success, so that at the end of the day, we are not going to take the credit.
Of course.
All of us will take the credit.
It's green football in Ghana, folks, and that's our show. Mr. Kujo Fionu is president of GALCA, Stefan from Germany, and of course, Prince Olisi Adan, Soccer Africa. Right, so we'll look forward to the official launch next month, but this is a new phenomenon in Ghana. You just have to get on board, otherwise you'll be left behind. That is the gospel truth. That's our show for today. Hopefully tomorrow, Thursday, we'll be here with another edition of The Pulse. Until then, have a good evening and take care.